Meghan Markle? Think again. Because in what seems like yet another chapter in the never-ending saga of drama surrounding the Duchess of Sussex, new allegations have surfaced, and they're not pretty. This time, it's her estranged father, Thomas Markle, who's coming out swinging, accusing her of misappropriating charity funds to bankroll her opulent lifestyle. Yeah, you heard that right. The woman who's been parading around as a champion of philanthropy, a self-proclaimed humanitarian, is now being called out for allegedly diverting donations meant for charitable causes. And if you think this is just some petty family feud, well, keep listening. Thomas Markle isn't just hurling empty accusations. He's claiming Meghan has been using the public's goodwill, leveraging her royal title and connections, to rake in donations, only to funnel those funds into her own pocket. Private jets, designer wardrobes, multi-million-dollar properties. The list goes on. And let me tell you, people are starting to connect the dots. Now, let's talk about the Sussex Royal Foundation. Remember that? The organization Meghan and Prince Harry set up to supposedly change the world? Well, guess what? Financial analysts have started digging into the numbers, and things aren't adding up. Reports suggest that a significant chunk of the funds raised never made it to the causes they were supposed to support. Instead, there's evidence pointing to lavish expenditures that have nothing to do with charity. And here's the kicker. Thomas Markle himself has been vocal about what he calls Meghan's true nature. In an alleged interview, he straight up said Meghan isn't the person the public thinks she is. He's accusing her of manipulating her image, using her royal ties to create this facade of altruism, all while allegedly prioritizing wealth and status over genuine philanthropy. But it doesn't stop there. Critics are now saying this behavior isn't exactly new. They claim Meghan's entire exit from royal duties, the whole "we're stepping back for privacy" narrative, was less about escaping media scrutiny and more about cashing in. Think about it, a Netflix deal, a Spotify contract, a memoir. Privacy? Or profit? You decide. And let's not forget the timing of all this. Why now? Why are these allegations coming to light at this moment? Insiders are saying it might have something to do with the ongoing scrutiny of the Sussexes' finances. As more questions arise about the transparency of their charitable initiatives, Meghan's critics are seizing the opportunity to push these accusations to the forefront. But here's the thing, Meghan and Prince Harry have, of course, denied any wrongdoing. They've repeatedly dismissed claims of financial misconduct, calling them baseless. Their team has insisted that every penny raised through their initiatives was used for its intended purpose. And yet, the questions remain. Let's not pretend this is all just coming out of nowhere. Meghan has been under fire before for her alleged obsession with luxury brands and her relentless pursuit of Hollywood fame. Critics have long argued that her actions don't exactly scream selfless humanitarian. In fact, they suggest the opposite, that Meghan is a master of image control, someone who knows how to work the system to her advantage. And if you're still on the fence, let's take a closer look at her track record. Severed family ties. Multimillion-dollar media deals. A lifestyle that screams celebrity more than royalty. Does this sound like someone genuinely committed to philanthropy? Or does it sound like someone who's carefully crafted a narrative to keep the money flowing? Look, this isn't just about Thomas Markle's accusations. This is about a pattern. A pattern of behavior that raises serious questions about Meghan's motives. From the royal wedding spectacle to the carefully curated interviews, everything about Meghan and Harry's public image feels calculated. And when you start peeling back the layers, it's hard not to see the cracks. And let's talk about those media contracts for a second. Remember when Harry and Meghan signed that massive Netflix deal? At the time, it was framed as an opportunity to tell inspiring stories and give a voice to the voiceless. But how much of that money has gone back into their supposed charitable causes? How many lives have actually been changed by their work? Because from where we're standing, it looks like most of the impact has been on their bank accounts. And don't even get me started on the Sussex Royal Foundation's closure. When the foundation shut down, there were murmurs of financial irregularities, but nothing concrete ever came out. Now, with these new allegations, people are starting to wonder if there was more to the story. Was the foundation closed to avoid scrutiny? Were they trying to get ahead of a potential scandal? Thomas Markle's accusations might just be the tip of the iceberg. Because when you start connecting the dots, a troubling picture begins to emerge. A picture of a couple who seem more interested in maintaining a luxurious lifestyle than truly making a difference. And while Meghan and Harry continue to deny these claims, the lack of transparency around their finances isn't doing them any favors. But let's step back for a moment and ask the big question, why does this matter? Why should we care about the financial dealings of two people who've already stepped away from royal duties? Well, it matters because Meghan and Harry have built their entire brand on the idea of being relatable, of being modern royals who care about the issues that matter to everyday people. If these allegations are true, it undermines everything they've claimed to stand for. And let's not ignore the hypocrisy here. Meghan and Harry have been vocal critics of the royal family, accusing them of being out of touch and resistant to change. But if they're guilty of the things they're being accused of, doesn't that make them just as bad? Maybe even worse, because they're pretending to be something they're not. The public has a right to know the truth. If Meghan and Harry are innocent, they should welcome the scrutiny, provide full transparency, and put these accusations to rest once and for all. But if they're guilty, well, then it's time for them to face the consequences of their actions. And for those who are quick to defend Meghan, claiming these accusations are just another attempt to tear her down, let's be clear, this isn't about her race, her gender, or her background. This is about accountability. When you position yourself as a public figure, when you ask people to trust you and support your causes, you have a responsibility to act with integrity. So, where do we go from here? Will Meghan and Harry finally address these allegations head-on? Will they open up their financial records and prove once and for all that they have nothing to hide? Or will they continue to deny, deflect, and distract, hoping this controversy will blow over like so many others before it? One thing's for sure, the public isn't going to forget about this anytime soon. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Meghan Markle. It's about what happens when public figures abuse their power, when they exploit the trust of the people who supported them. And if these allegations are true, Meghan isn't just guilty of financial misconduct, she's guilty of betraying the very people who believed in her.